Hi guys, and welcome to Super Metallurgy. So I'm with a friend of mine, Matthew, and he's actually had a new system just fitted in his car, which gives him cameras facing the front, which are full 4K, and at the back of the car, which is 1080p. A gentleman that has installed them is going to be talking about them and running him through the setup that's been installed in the car. So we're going to pass you over to those guys sitting in the car, and you'll be able to see the footage of them utilising the system and actioning everything and making it work. That's a good noise. Okay, so you can see I'm with this blue Vantage. Seriously nice car. We've got a white F-Type over on the other side of the road, and then you can see the car that we've just filmed the other day on the driveway. Another Vantage over here. These orange calipers look awesome. Okay, so this is the system that is going in. So this is called the Blackvue cloud-based system. So you can actually look at your car when you're away from it. Really, really clever. And then the Magic Pro, that allows so that your car doesn't go flat, so the system can always be operational, and then when the battery gets too low, it will then shut itself down so that you always have enough power to actually start your vehicle. And it's got a camera going from the front to the rear of the car, and you can see one camera just hanging down in the back at the moment. That's going to be for the rear window, and there's another one going in the front. And these two gentlemen are, at the moment, they're piping it up through the edge of the roof lining along the roof pillar, and they brought it up next to the airbag, and then they're going to get the power through to the back of the car, and then get the power supply plugged in behind the seat into the fuse box. So you can see the two Vantages both together on one driveway. So this is the car that obviously has just been filmed and has just got out on the channel. And then you've got the metallic blue just behind. Same wheels, different colour calipers, really nice orange calipers on this car. I'll show you the interior on this in a bit, and it matches up perfectly with the calipers. So you've got this blue interior with I believe it's blue and black with orange double stitching. Looks really, really nice. Really sets off against this paintwork. The paint almost looks sort of a purpley colour. It's really, really beautiful.
Oh my, middle of the night, fire casts a light on you. I slide a little to the right, just so I can next to you. Then the world goes around and round. You take my hand and we leave the ground. I'm in the stars waiting all around. I wanna fly with you.
At the end of the camera here, there's basically a button which can activate the Wi-Fi. It's the little round button here.
Little round button there.
Yep.
You'll know that it's activated because on this side you've got a blue fan.
Okay.
On this side. So then the normal procedure would be you'd obviously download the Blackvue app, which is free to download from the App Store, or if you've got an Android phone, from the Google Play Store.
Great.
And the procedure would be on your Apple iPhone, as this is, you go into your Wi-Fi settings, you'd search for the Wi-Fi network. This particular one is a Blackvue 900S, and I've just named it Vantage.
Thank you.
And then you'd obviously log on with the password, which we've obviously provided.
Yep.
You then go from that straight to the Blackvue app itself. On the app itself, which I'll just show you there, you've got a selection of options. The one here, which is the Blackvue Wi-Fi, if you just tap that, that will now communicate with the actual camera itself. So you've got various options here. You've also got the forward recording files, the recording for the rear as well. They're all colour coded, so you'll have a normal recording, which will be as you're normally driving.
Yes.
You've got event if you physically hit anything, but obviously in a car like this, possibly like potholes and speed bumps may just sort of trigger the G sensor. Then you've got a parking mode file, and then a motion detection mode if it sees motion.
So people around the car, or
so if you go and park up in a car park, basically anything walks around or near the vehicle, then it will obviously record that as a motion file. So if you come back to the car and you see some damage on the car, then obviously you would be able to then log into here and view,
you can see what's happened.
That
it just automatically does that if someone gets too close, does it? Okay.
Yeah, it's got it basically, the front and rear camera have got motion detection.
Right.
I'll show you in a minute.
So you don't have to set anything when you get out of the car?
No, it does it automatically. So once you've locked the car up, within about 5-10 minutes, the camera itself goes into parking mode itself automatically.
So it takes it into that mode. Right, okay.
So basically we've got here, sorry. So these are obviously your recording files here. You've got the option, if there was a particular file that you wanted, these three little dots here, you can press that and it basically copies to internal memory. And here is you've got internal memory, so then it will actually save to the actual phone itself, which means instead of streaming over Wi-Fi, it will play a lot quicker as well for that. If we just go back into the Wi-Fi settings here, so if you want to actually physically play a file, so you just tap on to the actual designated one here. And activated because on this side you've got a blue recording of this side. Obviously. So you've got a microphone and voice recording, which you can also disable if you wanted to.
Okay.
And then obviously,
so it's very flexible.
Yeah. You've got a rear version, obviously there, which also will pick up microphone as well in there. Which is free to download from the app. From those files. So. Also, if you sort of cleaning the vehicle and you think you've nudged the camera, there's also a live view facility, so you can then obviously manually adjust and just make sure everything is set up as it should be. The other options we have here is if we go into firmware settings, this is where you can adjust the video quality, the time, obviously if you change from British summertime, Wi-Fi settings, LEDs if you want to turn them on and off in there. But the one that you possibly may need to adjust after we've left is if you go into the G sensor sensitivity and here, so this as regards to this, because obviously the suspension in this type of car, you can go in here and obviously you might need to back it off a bit, so it makes it a bit less sensitive.
Got you.
So if you have lots of event files on the recording, then you would be able to adjust those. But the motion detection part is this one. They've got this new feature now, so you can sort of isolate what the camera reacts to. So say you're parking here and the bush keeps blowing in the wind.
Got you. Yeah, you can take that out.
You can basically untick all these
all the ones
here
on the left-hand edge,
and that won't register on any motion detection.
Well, I think leave that in. I think that's a good feature.
Yeah.
Take those out, please.
So
coming and going past the car.
That'll be that sort of side, and then obviously you can reduce the sensitivity. So at the moment, in the distance from a far distance, then obviously it would obviously show. And react to that, whereas if you back that off, it's only going to be something a lot more closer to you.
Okay.
Which is there. You've got the same option for the rear camera, where you can obviously isolate certain areas. I
think you'd probably want that on, wouldn't you? Really, you'd want the widest coverage, wouldn't you? Particularly
Yeah,
from the rear of the vehicle, especially where it's parked here.
Oh yes, most certainly. And then obviously you've got other various settings here where you can obviously change the LED, the voice guidance, those sort of areas. Then you've got the basic, which is obviously time, your video resolution, recording options. I've set this a 1 minute recording. You can do up to 3 minutes, but the files are then really too big.
Okay.
And then it's a lot easier for you to obviously play back a file if it's a minute in length as well.
Got you.
On there. And then obviously any setting that you change on here, when you come out of here now, obviously it says save and close or close without saving. So
save and
we
close.
would have to save and close. So what the camera will do now is it reboots, reconfigures itself, and then obviously then boots back up with that new setting.
Fantastic.
Which is on there.
So 2 Aston V8s. What a nice noise. Wow, listen to that. It'll give you a serious headache.
Oh my, middle of the night, fire casts a light on you. I slide a little to the right, just so I can next to you.